Hey, welcome to Bears Banter Talk Show. My name's Bernard Muhammad. Tonight we got Jay Beasley, Keith Floyd, also known as Plank, and looked like somebody then took Eric out. Hey, what's up, Eric?
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in Eric Jr.'s room, so.
Oh, you got Eric Jr. with you?
No, he did. No. He'll take over.
Hey, we just wrapped up the 2024 draft yesterday, man, and I know we got a lot to talk about. I don't know. Do y'all want to start with the bottom of the draft, the top of the draft? I have no preference.
We can start wherever you want to start.
Always start with the top, man.
Start with the top. Okay.
Start at the bottom, so we here. Is that
okay? Hey, we got Eric on tonight, and Eric is definitely one of the people that studies college football. So Eric will be able to give us some additional insight, as well as Jay and Plank. But I know Eric really does watch a lot of college football. So Eric, we start off with you. What's your thought on the Caleb Williams draft?
Y'all know I was a Justin guy, so
okay.
I'm gonna start there. I'm happy we've turned the page on it. Like I said before, Caleb is like a slower, smaller version of Justin in a lot of regards. However, one thing I absolutely adore about Caleb is he's in a big city, a big market. He has a big personality. And I don't think Bears fans have ever seen that out of a Chicago Bears QB since maybe Big McMahon. Mm-hmm. And so his personality is strong. He's marketable. He's already a millionaire before he ever signed his contract with us. So he has money. He has a lot of intangibles. I mean, they're setting him up for success. I'm excited. I want the young man to do well. I really was excited when we got Odunze. I could have went either way with it on the 9th pick. I think I watched more of Rome Odunze in the last 2 years than any other wide receiver. I saw him way more than I saw Neighbors. I know I saw Harrison more, but Harrison was in and out a lot of times last year. But I saw a lot of Odunze last year with Penix and with other receivers out in Washington because they were 3 deep. They were receiving out there.
Yes, they were.
It was Dunze and it was McMillan, and they were, Rome reminds me of Mike Evans, maybe just from the build and everything. He can just beat you on contested passes, and so I'm excited about seeing that and seeing the growth of them together because Keenan Allen really works well out the slot, and so you have a Dunze on the outside and DJ getting whatever. I'm hopeful. If not this season, but next season, we see a QB with 30 touchdown passes. We see, I'm not expecting 4,000 yards, but 30 TDs with Kmet and those receivers, if healthy, I can actually. And 30 is a low bar. If we're really talking about,
that's low bar.
QBs, because with 17 games, come on, that's what just over 2 a game almost, and so. I'm excited, and the third round pick. I like the fact the kid,
Hey, let's come back to him. Let's okay. I want to get Plank take on Caleb. What's your take on Caleb, Plank?
I'm excited. I like what he brings to the table, and looking at some of his film and some of the games that he's played. You can go back to Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma. He comes in his first game, game number 6. They end up 4th and 1, so he replaces Spencer Rattler and ends up running for a 66-yard touchdown. I'm like, okay, this dude's got a couple different things. He is a good player. He's a thinker, and you can see him putting his all into the teams that he's playing for. As far as Caleb Williams, some of his personality issues. I think Chicago is the exact city that can handle that. I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but years ago with Chicago Bulls, they brought a guy on the team that wore a wedding dress and married himself. So we can deal with somebody like that. Caleb Williams, I don't think he's that eccentric. I understand the thing about him painting his nails or whatever. until you start really realizing and understanding why he does that. That is kind of a hats off to his mom. His mom used to have a nail shop, and she used to paint nails or whatever. So, sometimes that might be something that you do just to get closer to your family members. All right, Mom, go ahead and paint my nails. Oh, but you a boy. It don't matter, Mom. This is what we're going to do. So I'm looking forward to Caleb Williams. I feel bad about Justin Fields. I still support him. However, looking at all of the metrics that we kept coming out with during the draft, the worst passing team last year was the Chicago Bears with 167 passing yards. And that's with DJ Moore. So I'm looking forward to a change of pace. Roma Dunze, this dude is a dog, man. Everybody's talking about this contested catch and all that other stuff. He is way more than that. He's way more than that. So I'm a little bit scared now because I'm going to have some real arguments with Jay because it looks like these receivers, if I can't bring back the ghost of a live Mel Blount, I don't know what we can do against these dudes. So that's my 2 cents. What you got, Jay?
Like I said, if the Bears didn't have the number 1 pick in the draft, Justin Fields would still be here. But I'm over that. I'm so over it. The Bears had the number 1 pick in the draft, and they had to do what they needed to do, which was draft Caleb Williams. And I'm so okay with it. Watching his film from I watched his senior year of high school, and then he went to Oklahoma, and I saw what he did then. You got to have a quarterback with instinct, and he has all the instinct in the world. I watched the film where it was, I believe it was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and they called a handoff, and the running back was getting stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. He literally went to the running back and took the ball out his hand and ran for a first down. This dude has instinct. He has the ability to make all the throws, whether it's on schedule or off schedule. He has the ability to make all the throws, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the table with the weapons that he has. You got DJ Moore, who had a career year, who to me always have a career year, no matter who the quarterback is. This dude had 1,300 yards last year with Justin Fields. Shout out to Justin Fields. He had 1,300 yards. You got Keenan Allen, who led the NFL in catches before he got injured last year. And then you got a career wide receiver, college wide receiver that's coming out in Roma Dunze, who y'all knew I was all on board with that from day one. So you got 3 number 1s. And I think Caleb Williams will be successful with what Poles has put in place for him as a rookie quarterback. Because a lot of times rookie quarterbacks come into the league, and y'all know it. Look at Bryce Young last year. You come into the league, you're the worst team in the league.
Yep.
The Bears won 7 games last year. Should have won 10, but they won 7 games last year. So now you got a rookie quarterback coming in to a 7-win team with the possibility of being able to challenge for the division and make the playoffs. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. To paint the nails and all this. I don't care if you wear a dress every day. If you throw touchdowns, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. I don't care about touchdowns. That's it.
Yeah, Jay and playing Eric, great points. Hey, like thank everybody who's tuning in to Bears Banter tonight. Please hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, and we're on, I believe, Twitch TV tonight. Y'all all made some excellent points. I guess I will just start with right here. The quarterback position is so important in the NFL. A lot of us are old school guys. We used to where teams put most of their money on defense. They ran the ball good, played great defense, and they end up in the championship. Okay, that formula to me works once or twice every 10 years. Yeah. So you could go back and point to a Ravens team. You could go back to Trent Dilfer. But those are exceptions. Though that's not the normal. How are you going to get to the Super Bowl with just a pedestrian quarterback? Your quarterback is going to play a big role, even if his role in the Super Bowl is minor, right? Like we just saw, but you wouldn't have probably been to the Super Bowl with that said. Much as I like Justin Fields, out of 13 games, if you only got 16 touchdowns throwing, you're probably not a playoff team. That's not enough production, and it's not all his fault. But the Bears became in a position, like Jay said, to draft the number one pick. And the Bears haven't had a number one pick since I believe then last year. The last time was I believe was 1947 or 1948 that they had a first round number one pick. So to get the number one pick is rare for Chicago Bears in their history. If you go back to the 1970s, the Bears were in a position to draft Terry Bradshaw, but they ended up, I think, lost in the toss of a coin, and then the Pittsburgh got him. So for the Bears to finally get somebody that is slated to be the consensus number one and doesn't have to give up anybody, they didn't have to give up any picks to do it. Like with Mitch, you had to give up picks to do it. The Bears could not pass this up after having two opportunities. And I know they wasn't in the quarterback derby last year. I understand that. But you could not go into after this draft saying, okay, if we have another year, we could do it next year. That's lightning's not going to strike three times in the same place. So with that saying, I think Caleb is a star. I don't know what his production is on the field going to be, but Caleb is a star. Caleb has embraced being the quarterback of the Bears. Caleb has reached out to players. I saw something where he tweeted Torrey Taylor, congratulating him on the team, but he said, "Hey man, we ain't gonna need not that much on our team."
I love it. Anytime you text your brother, be like, "Hey, bro, you good, but we ain't gonna need you too often." That's confidence, and I like that because the bottom line is, as a quarterback, you have to be confident in the NFL, and I like that. I just want him to back it up, and from what I saw, and from what the weapons are around him, I think he will back that up. He was just like, "Hey, bro, we ain't gonna need you too often. Welcome to the team, but you ain't gonna we ain't gonna be playing too often because I'm scoring points. I'm getting in the end zone, which is what the Bears need to do."
I'll tell you guys what. The last time the Bears had a draft like this was in, I think it was 1966, where they took Gale Sayers number 3 and Dick Buck is number 4. I think that turned out pretty good for us. So I'm looking forward to the Bears and how they're gonna bring this this year. The other thing that I kept listening to, I know that the whole draft was in Detroit, and all of the pundits were talking about, oh yeah, the Bears got Detroit in the division. I was like, didn't we whoop Detroit last year? So we actually should have beat them 2 games. But we ended up at the very least at 1-1. So, some of those people are doing some of those old tropes and old narratives. But I'm really looking forward to the Bears this year. I can't wait.
Hey, let me run a clip real quick of a couple of players. I'm going to put Caleb. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Let's see what.
Williams in trouble as he's been all game. Able to escape pressure, and now throwing on the run, and it's on target.
4th and 7. Off the edge, pressure, going deep. Long for Rice. Touchdown.
Williams keeps it. Birds down. Touchdown. That's a hat trick of rushing touchdowns for Williams.
Williams, plenty of time. Now he's running out. Now he sees green grass. In the corner, busted coverage.
I like some of the accuracy that you see when he's on the move throwing, and you could definitely see when he's moving in the pocket, he's not moving to run the ball. It kind of reminds me of, I know it's kind of dated example, but Franz Tarkenton when he used to kind of run around in the pocket and and look for an open guy. I know Roger Staubach, because they used to call him, Roger the Dodger.
Right.
But those were some nice clips, man. I hope the Chicago Bears fans just embrace this. I know people, when you love a player like a Justin Fields, a great guy, not only on the football field, but to the community, you really hate to see players like that go. But I think the Bears did the best thing for him and the organization, because sometimes you just need a new fresh start. And it doesn't.
That's true.
What you got?
No, I was saying that's true. I wrote about that back in October in the group, where I said, at this point we need to start over, and get the kid, because it became toxic, and there were people who were already in the camp of, they were all things against Justin, regardless if we got the number one pick or not. And then because we went through the whole Tyson Bagent, experience, and I'm happy for the kid. Hope he balls out in Pittsburgh when he gets opportunity. But it was time. And I think part of it, one of the reasons that people are so tired emotionally to Justin, was the fact that if you are eyes wide open, I think both things could be true. Could he have been a little bit better? Yeah, he could have been better on some stuff. There were times I'm yelling at the screen, Justin, throw the ball, but we also saw that he was dealt a bad hand. And there are people who just absolutely did not care about that bad hand. And that's what people started to get. And then that his teammates absolutely adore him, did everything right, with that situation. And so that's where some of the emotions come to that with Justin. But, I'm excited for Caleb. Like I said, I've been watching him since I remember that play at Oklahoma. And one thing about Caleb this year, even though it was a bad year for USC, he spread the ball around, so it wasn't, there were times, because I tell you, I play FanDuel, so I didn't like to play Caleb or his receivers, because you don't know who was going to get 5 catches that day. It could have been Brendan Rice. It could have been Taj Washington. It could have been, whoever. The only time he really had was the year before last year, or year before last, when he had Jordan Addison. When Jordan Addison transferred there, that's when he won his Heisman. And so when he had to spread the ball around with these other guys, I believe he'll do it. I mean, I'm hoping that the Bears with Shane Waldron really scheme up some stuff to get guys going. And his favorite receiver is the open receiver. Let's do that.
Right, because I'm gonna tell y'all who you gonna throw the ball to. This is the first. Hey, this is the first time I looked at the Bears offense. I'm like, oh my god, you got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Roma Dunze.
Man.
Now you have defensive coordinators now that's gonna have to prepare. Last year they was like, okay, we'll just double team DJ and leave Darnell Mooney open, or we'll leave Cole Kmet 1-on-1 with a safety. With this offense that they putting on the field this year, you can't do that. You can't do that, because Keenan Allen is going to be everybody said a rookie quarterback needs a tight end. Well, they also need a wide receiver like Keenan Allen too. Because now you talking about Keenan Allen playing in the slot. Keenan Allen is going to be in the slot. You got a 1,000-yard receiver that's going to be in the slot position. Oh my God, that's scary. And you're going to have defensive coordinators trying to drum up who we're going to double team. And the bottom line is they're not going to be able to double team nobody, because you got all these weapons out here. And it's refreshing to see. Y'all know me. I've always said I hate that term. It's a passing league. I hate that term, because my whole thing is, if you win a game, you win a game. If you rush the ball 40 times, you win 10-6. I'm okay with that. But the Bears, in my time, this is scary. This is really scary for a lot of defense.
Yeah, Jay, because the last time the Bears had a receiver duo here, if I can recall, is Brandon Marshall and
Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett.
But in reality, Alshon Jeffrey was not a number one receiver.
No,
he was really a 2.
He was complimented, though. He was complimented.
Then also, when you looked at it, neither one of those guys had the speed that these guys got. These are big guys. Rome ran a 4.45.
4.45, 6'3", 215. 4.45 40.
Correct. I want to say Jeffrey and Brandon probably both were like 4'6" guys.
4'5" guys. They was 4'5" guys.
Yeah, they was kind of more big guys that you just kind of threw to a target. But you got some guys who are big, and then you got Rome, who also. What I liked about Rome was some of the passes he could catch underneath, and he's willing to do anything because he even returned a couple of kickoffs this year. I think it was this year, but I mean, Rome's been my guy. Just like Eric mentioned. I remember earlier, probably around December or late November, I started saying, "Man, I want Rome," and I remember in some of the Bears groups on Facebook, people was like, "Man, who you talking about, man? It's only Marvin Harrison Jr." And I was like posting videos like, "No, you need to watch this guy here."
and I told y'all, I was like, they was talking about going into the combine. They was talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. And I was like, before it's all said and done, Rome Odunze is going to be the best wide receiver in this class. I like Malik Neighbors. I really like Neighbors. But I'm gonna tell y'all, after 3 years, if we entertain this conversation, Rome Odunze is going to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. The dude is special, man. He is special. And I like him because he's humble. He's humble. His whole thing is like, you know what? What I did at Washington was cool. But guess what? Now I'm finna learn from Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Y'all know, I get freaky when it comes to wide receivers, man. And I love wide receivers, man. I love wide receivers, man. When they good and they confident, I love them.
Did y'all hear his interview on the Score?
You say what?
Did y'all hear his interview on the Score?
When
they told him about Johnny Moore's record. Did you hear that,
Mike? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Bernard, first of all, the only people that like change are wet babies. So, some people are going to fight with whatever change is. Let's think about what Ryan Pohl actually has been able to do. He was able to rebuild his entire roster in 3 years. He got rid of old contracts, bad contracts. He had zero draft capital to begin with, and he was able to overcome that. He did exactly what he said he would do, which was, build from the draft and doing what have you. One of the things I wanted to talk about real quick is the Bears, when this year they're going to be able to do a lot of things in Shane Waldron's offense, especially with that 12 personnel. You've got Kmet and Everett as two tight ends. Man, a lot of people are not going to know what to do with that. So I'm really looking forward to how he's going to be able to scheme, and just our offensive line just basically going to hit people in the mouth anyway. I can't wait to see this at the Hall of Fame game. So I'm already excited about that. I know I keep saying that, but I can't have my excitement about that.
Yeah, great point. Hey, let me bring something. Let me bring this up on Rome. Hold on. I think it's right. Hold on. Trying to remember how to share something.
That's the thing. They was talking about Marvin Harrison. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I love him. But when you talk about statistic-wise, Rome Odunze, he killed it. He was killing it. He was killing it. This dude had 1,600 yards. 1,600 yards. 96 catches, I want to say. If I'm not mistaken. He had 96 catches for 1,600 yards. That's boss. That's boss right there.
Hey, let me kick the video, Jay. Here we go.
92.
He had 92. The end zone right side this time. What a catch from Odunze for the touchdown.
And that was here before last.
Here comes the pressure. Penix delivers. And it's caught. Odunze grabs it for the touchdown.
I'm actually mad Jalen Johnson changed his number to number 1. Because I wanted the Doomsday to wear that.
I did too.
Penix in complete command now. Look at this. Odunze.
Okay, last one.
Kid is special, man. He's special. He is special. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. He's special, man. Kid is special.
Hey, Bernard, a couple quick comments about that. First of all, Ryan Pace, that used to be the Bears general manager, is at it again. He made one of the worst signings I have seen in the history of NFL, and he went and got he got Penix Jr. with the number 8 draft choice when Odunze was ready, after just spending $130 million on the quarterback position. I'll take that. Second, Penix got the worst name in all of sports. There's going to be all kind of jokes made about this all the time. All you need is one slip up on the sports show, and that's going to be playing all over the nation all the rest of the year. So remember, that's Ryan Pace that used to be the Bears general manager that's running Atlanta. So as much as you start saying, oh, we wish we had him back, look at what kind of deals he's making, and that lets you know exactly where your team would be.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when they made that pick, they actually turned the whole draft upside down. I think he was going to cause half in the year. It actually turned the whole draft upside down because at the time, I'm like, okay, y'all just took a 24-year-old quarterback at number 8. Y'all just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million deal, $100 million guaranteed, or something like that, whatever it was. And then Terry Fontenot, the GM from Atlanta, said the day after, like, well, we won't mind if he sits for 4 or 5 years. So what? He gonna be 28 when he actually gonna get a chance to play? Yeah, that turned the whole draft upside down. I'm happy for it. I actually thought Atlanta was gonna go defense because they need defense. So I actually thought they was gonna go defense, and I still think Ron Meduse would have still been there. But at the same time, when he drafted Michael Penix Jr. at number 8, I was just like, wow, this is not good.
They could win offensive line, and nobody would have cared.
They could have did anything but draft a quarterback at number 8.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because as much as I like Michael Penix Jr., if you had since you signed Kirk Cousins, there was no reason to draft Michael Penix Jr. or any quarterback that high. Because now, if you was targeting Michael Penix Jr.,
you still could have traded back.
Then you didn't have to sign Kirk Cousins. You could have, because Michael Penix Jr. might have been there still at whatever number you wanted to draft him at. So that's what makes it don't make sense. And plus, you put all that. I just thought the Kirk Cousins thing was weird because he's coming off of Achilles. So you don't even know if he's going to be ready. So I don't think I would have invested in that. But I didn't know what the Atlanta was doing last year when they got a running back that high, when you definitely had quarterback issues last year. And you also have defensive issues. I don't think you got a pass rush at all. So
you don't. Dallas Turner had been months.
Games this year was offensively was against Atlanta. We only really had about 3 offensive good games this year, in my opinion. That was against Atlanta, against Denver, and against Washington. Washington, because they were stubborn and they just wanted to stay in man-to-man, and we were good against man coverage in our zone. And Denver had just gave up 70 points, so I mean, we was expected to do that, but I don't understand that. Hey, Eric, what?
Penix and Cousins played together in high school. I think they were on the squad. Penix and Cousins. I went there.
He was his backup in high school. He was the freshman on the team. Hey, Eric, what's your before we dive into the third pick? What's your opinion on some of the other draft picks that came between 2 and 8? That the Commanders and some of the other teams pick. I mean, you have any opinions on some of those picks?
Yeah, I want to piggyback one more thing about the Atlanta with Cousins. is let's not forget they could have signed Lamar Jackson last year. They passed up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then which like the whole league did, and then he gets MVP. And then they signed Cousins coming off the Achilles. So he may not even be ready at the start of the season. So I'm like, if they have Penix might be starting game 1. We never know. Okay. So it may not be as bad, even though it did flip things. I like Jaden Daniels going to Washington because they need that. Drake May with the Patriots, I believe. That's good. You know, Neighbors with the Chargers, they need a receiver now. Mike Williams is gone, and Keenan, we got him. I believe also the Chargers they got J.K. Dobbins. I think is coming off his injury, so if he's healthy, that's their running back because Eckler is in Washington now.
I think the Chargers got Joe Alt.
The Chargers got
they got Joe Alt.
Neighbors went to the Giants.
I'm sorry. The Giants.
He went to the Giants.
And they don't have a receiver.
So
Neighbors gonna catch everything.
Good luck with Daniel Jones, though. Daniel Jones is their starting quarterback, so good luck with that.
Yeah.
So with Neighbors,
I mean, here's the thing, and what's his name? Louis Riddick's been saying this because he's really talking about Fields all last season and what the Bears did in 2022 with him. And I'm not trying to stay making the Fields thing, but Louis Riddick has really been talking about. He refers to Daniel Jones. He refers a little bit to Mac Jones. He refers to Justin Fields. He said these GMs, these teams keep drafting these quarterbacks and throw them in horrible positions.
Horrible situations.
Don't give any infrastructure, and they get another bite of the apple 2-3 years later. And Sony start holding them accountable for that, and we lucked up getting that number 1 pick, because we created some stuff. And so Daniel Jones in the same situation. I'm happy he has Neighbors now because of the fact I can't name their receivers. I mean, Sterling Shepard's been injured for the last 3 years. Okay, so they don't have anybody. They're getting guys off the street. They got the kid last year, Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee. He barely, they couldn't figure out how to use him. So Neighbors is I think if Jones is healthy, that might be something, for them a little bit. I mean, they even had Waller, the tight end, and he's never healthy. So I mean, so the first for 2 to 8, it kind of went outside of Penix. It kind of went how I thought it was going to go.
Everybody was,
And then I was just interested in the fact that, like, man, a defensive player that come off the board to like 16.
Yep.
That blew my mind. I was like, y'all passing up on Dallas Turner and all these cornerbacks like y'all don't need one. That allowed Philly to come up because they got Mitchell and DeJean. And I was like, so in the late first, early second round, I'm like, so it's gonna be interesting because I started looking at these GMs and I wonder how did they rise to the level they rose to every year and stuff. And then, and that's where I always kind of push back on folks saying, and it's my last thing. Well, the league showed what they felt about, player X. I'm stop saying his name. But I look at these GMs and what they do every year. And then when they get fired, they become analysts on ESPN.
Yeah. Hey, because I'm gonna tell you, Eric, to that. My thing is, hell, I could be a GM and make some better decisions. Than what are these people looking at? I don't understand it. Like I say, y'all know my favorite thing is the Underwear Olympics. Have people look at stuff like that and they be like, yeah, this is what it is. Look at the film. Look at the tape. The tape, film don't lie. My high school coach always told me, hey, the film don't lie. It is what it is. And it's like they get so overwhelmed over what people do at the combine instead of looking at the tape. And these GMs out here make some horrible decisions. And like you said, Eric, 2 or 3 years later, they're in the same position where they like, okay, we drafted the quarterback, so now we got to draft another one. You look at the Cardinals. I swear to God, I was watching the draft this weekend, and it seemed like every time I looked at the TV, they would say Arizona Cardinals on the clock. How many picks did they had? What, 12, 11, or 12 draft picks?
From the Houston trade. The Houston trade got a bunch of picks.
It's like, can y'all get it right? And a lot of times GMs like they're in this position and they don't get it right. And 2 or 3 years later, they drafting a quarterback again, or they drafting a defensive end again, or they drafting a wide receiver again. It just goes on and on and on. And it's just like, how do these people get their job for real?
Every year, Jay, to your point, every year we get a new shiny object based upon what they think this person going to be.
What they think.
2 years ago, we had Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. This year is JJ McCarthy. Because I watched Michigan. Even when he had to throw the ball, it wasn't
good. It wasn't good.
Like, nothing about him said, and Mel Kiper was saying, I had him second round. I don't know what happened. But everybody's so thirsty to get somebody.
Everybody's so thirsty to get a quarterback. But when you looking to get a quarterback, you have to get the one that's good. Just like Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix should have went before JJ McCarthy.
I do too.
If you really want to talk about it,
yep.
but it's like, why? Just because you won a NCAA title does not mean he threw the ball 5 times in the title game or something like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty low.
Are you serious? So, what film did you see of him that actually made you think that he was worth a top 20 pick?
You're right.
So it's mind blowing. It's totally mind blowing.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what's your opinion on it?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going back to Ryan Poles again. I keep hearing all of this commentary about the Bears should have got Justin Fields more help. They didn't give him enough help. Why they didn't do the same thing for Justin Fields? Basically, because you came into the house and the cupboard was bare. They tried to bring things like people like Chase Claypool. He didn't work out, but we didn't know he was going to end up being a head case. We probably should have, but we didn't know that. That's the same analogy of, okay, you got 4 kids in your house. You a single parent. You got $10. How you going to feed your kids? Very simple. Everybody going to get oodles and noodles. So everybody eats. That's what we can do. Next week when I get paid, maybe we can get steak. Maybe we can do something else. So, it's kind of the same analogy. So I'm about sick of Facebook and some other social networks and whatever still talking about Ryan Poles, because more than anything, number one, he does exactly what he said he would do. And number two, he actually talks to the fans and has a dialogue and let everybody know what he's thinking about. The previous GMs, I don't remember a Bears GM even holding the end of the year conferences to talk about the state of the Bears. So be careful what you wish for. We got a good one right now. I think at this point he should be in line for GM of the year.
Yeah, I like that he surrounded himself with people who are just not yes people.
Yep.
He did indicate the other day that he was getting anxious when it came to Rome, and he was about to trade up. And Ian Cunningham
talked about the lid.
Yeah, hold on, man.
Right.
He gonna still be there. But you know what? That's what the Bears need. And like I said, I think we mentioned something about organizational change earlier, and y'all been talking about the Bears trading bad contracts, etc. What Bears fans have to remember, in 2018, the Bears sold out to try to win a championship.
Yep.
They brought in older players. They overpaid some players with the hopes that they would win in 2018. And they put a lot of their contracts were expiring going into that 2021 season.
2021?
Yeah, a lot of those contracts was ending. So when Ryan Poles came in, they had about over 20, somewhere between 25 and 30 players who had expiring contracts. Mm-hmm. So either you're going to renew their contracts for a team that had just only won 5 games the season before and was 8-9 the season before that. You're either going to extend those guys or you're going to say, hey, what he did, let's start over. And I think what he did, when you look back at it, it was a genius move. And Chicago, to give a shout out to Quick, you got to trust the process. What we haven't seen in Chicago is a process. What we saw before is what we saw in 2018. We seen a lot of GMs just sell out in Chicago for 1 or 2 good years, and then we have 4 or 5 bad years. He's trying to build a team for the long haul, and I like some of the moves he made, and that, I guess that lead us to the next move is he brought in a kicker. I mean, what's y'all thought about this? That's been. Did I run a clip of him kicking or I run?
But real quick, I just want to go back real quick. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say real quick. What I like about Poles is accountability.
Yep.
And we had some things that went on last season where we had a couple of coaches that had to be fired. But when you recognize that, even at your job, you have people that need to get fired. You hire some people, and they get fired. Well, we thought this was the right person, but it wasn't. The accountability and the fact that they didn't let that stop them from doing what they needed to do. They was like, okay, we have to fire them. It's over our head. It's not over our head. That's it. We have to fire them. Let's get rid of them. We're going to keep it moving. We're not going to be like, oh, my God, we're in this position where now we need to get over it and keep it moving. And that's what I like about Poles, man. You gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving.
Okay, let me run this. I won't run this one too long since it's just a couple of punts. Hold on.
This is our best draft pick.
It might be.
He's been brilliant.
With how good Torrey is, it's like you have a guy like that. He absolutely is a weapon.
I've been kicking a ball for 20 years, and that was really one thing that has helped me since I got here. Is that it's nothing different.
Torrey Taylor sound like Crocodile
Heisman MVP in Australia.
Somebody asked the job was actually like, what you think about y'all? What's y'all draft picks? I'm like, I love the punter. Because anytime you can change field position like that, you got the best punter in the draft. You got the best quarterback in the NFL draft. In my opinion, you got the best wide receiver in the NFL. We winning. It's just got to all come to fruition, man. We winning. I love it. I love it.
I wonder if we had, let's say, 6 or 7 picks, would he have waited on that punter? I wondered about that, but I'm not mad at it. He only had 4 picks or 5. If we end up with Booker at the end. And so, the kid got a leg. We haven't had a punter with a leg. We had O'Donnell for years. He was accurate. We had the Ty Sauerbrunn years, when he was, booming stuff, and getting into personality issues. I mean, hey, like you said, Bernard, when Caleb sent him the text, we don't plan on using you much. I even showed my wife that when I was like, look at this, check this out. She was like, yeah, this is about to be interesting. So I mean, hey, he had to go for his with his draft capital, and so I'm not mad. I was shaking my head at it, and then we got the next pick with Booker. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I'm good.
Here's something that was a giveaway for me as well. When's the last time you all remember the Bears going one side of the ball so much in a draft?
Which is what I said.
Offense, I was like, that takes a lot of guts in Chicago because we're expecting some kind of defensive player. We don't have a defensive lineman or whatever. So we kept expecting the Bears to go with that. And all of a sudden I'm hearing offensive guard, offensive tackle. But I'm like, they know exactly what they're trying to do. Whether it works or not, I got to respect that. So I think Ryan Poles is doing a great thing. Ian Cunningham, if this guy ain't somebody's general manager next year, it's definitely a problem with the Rooney Rule and everything else. But he's been doing a heck of a job, and he's doing it on the down low that people ain't paying attention to it because they know he's on Ryan Poles' staff.
Well, the Bears pay attention to it because they just gave him a raise. So the Bears pay attention to it. They just gave him a raise. But
and also, Plank, I think there was some teams that wanted to interview him last year, but he said he wanted to stay in Chicago because he wanted to be part of the championship. So he passed on some opportunities, well, potential opportunities, but that's commitment to the job.
Yep.
But y'all mentioned it was something y'all mentioned that I wanted to talk about. Oh, about the punter, Tory Taylor. The new kickoff rule starts this year, right?
Yeah, that's why Vintage Jones must still be on our team.
About that, right? Because with the new kickoff rule, you're gonna have more returns, and so you are gonna probably have some returns that don't work out, that you may get star back further than you want to, because the way it's set up, you're gonna return more balls, and that punter is gonna be important when you get that one kickoff, that you get that one possession that don't go nowhere, and now you're on your own 10-yard line. And you need to change that field position, and that punter could swing that field for you. Because I would say the first couple of games, I believe the players are going to be confused about the because it's so different on what they was doing. I've been trying to watch the what is the X, whatever they call it now.
UFL.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch that to try to get an understanding of that new kickoff rule, because they're kind of emulating the rules that did, but that's going to have an effect on the amount of returns that you have in the field position that you can have on a play when you start possessing the ball. That was something I wanted to mention.
But now we got a punter that's 6'4", 225.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big dude.
A return. A run.
He's a big dude.
I like that. Let's see it.
You talk about a guy that's bigger than our quarterback. He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Chris Beasley is your brother, right?
Yeah, Big Brown, what's going on?
I think I'm on his side, man. Because
What do you think?
it was the defense that kept us in the game last year. And I kept saying that to you the whole year. So thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
And think about it like this. Pole's first 2 drafts, he went defensive.
Yeah, yes, he did.
I mean, he went last year, of course, he went with Darnell Wright in the first round, but he was getting them tackles. Remember his first draft, we didn't have first round pick, first 2 picks, safeties,
defensive back,
defensive back. So he's been building towards this. I'm interested in if we pick up any more free agents along the way, because I'm always looking at depth. And I'll say this, now I don't know how much time we got, but that one undrafted free agent, Austin Reed from Western Kentucky, I saw him play several times. He's better than Bajan. He's better than Bajan. Because I told y'all in the group, Malachi Corley was my guy. And Austin Reed was chucking the ball 40 times a game at Western Kentucky.
Yep.
Okay. So
yep.
I mean, so he's used to just for chucking it. So I would be interested to see that QB battle behind Caleb.
Yep.
It's gonna be one, and it'll be very interesting if Tyson, gets back to the practice or something like that.
He's gonna get a little rattle. Like
it's gonna be some folks gonna be really upset in Bridgeport.
Hey, let's the next guy. I'm gonna try to see if I can say his name. Karan Amajaji. Is that it? Abajaji? I'm not sure how he says his name. That's
I think you're close.
Okay, that's the tackle from Yale. Pretty big guy, but he didn't play many games last year. Maybe about 4 games, maybe about 315. I don't have his stats, but pretty big guy.
He's 6'5", 322, something like that.
Okay.
He's from Hinsdale. He's from out my way.
He's from Hinsdale, and I actually saw his tape, and he looked. I mean, it's Yale, but he actually looked pretty good. We was talking about it off screen. Me and Frank, and we was like, okay, Larry Bourne was on notice. I wouldn't be surprised if Larry Bourne don't get. They wind up trading him in the during the preseason / OTAs or whatever. But I think this kid is gonna be pretty good. So he might make the team. He might make the team. I mean, he's a 3rd round draft pick, so. That's right. That's a pick. You know, hell, Venus Jones still on the team. He's a third round draft pick. But Venus Jones gonna make the team though.
He's not on the team.
Venus Jones gonna make the team only because of new kickoff rules.
He's
Only because of new kickoff rules. Venus Jones is gonna make this team.
He's not gonna make the team, no.
Okay. I'm telling y'all, Venus Jones is gonna make this team only because of the new kickoff rules.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at some tape on Karan, I think it's Karan. You know what? I don't think of course it's a little work in progress. I think he just has to, for one, kind of work on keeping his hands on people. Right, he a big guy and he played at Yale, and I thought it was a few times when I saw the little clip that was available that maybe he let go guys a little early that he was driving. So keeping this, learning how to keep his hands on guys until the play is over. A little bit more bet on his footwork. Right, he's kind of high at times. He ain't gonna be bigger than everybody in the NFL. So, but I think he got potential, and I wouldn't be surprised that if he put in the work, he may be starting by the end of the season.
Well, left tackle. He's a utility guy too, so he can.
Yeah, left tackle.
He can probably end up replacing Nate Davis a couple plays. So between Nate Davis and Tevin Jenkins, they were hurt a good portion of last year, and that actually set us back from an offense standpoint. So if nothing else, we're gonna have a lot of guys that you can rotate. And you're basically teaching them all the same fundamentals. Quick, I agree with you.
No, Quick.
I'm not putting him in that position. Right.
No, I'm not putting Rome in that position. Putting Rome in that position.
I'll say this real quick. I'm watching the third round, and I was sick with 2 picks before us. Dallas took Cooper Beebe because that's who I wanted. He a dog. And and that kid, Kansas State, and I'm watching a little bit of Kansas State last year, and you know someone good when the offensive lineman or the defensive lineman is in the trenches, jump off the screen. Cooper jumps off the screen.
Yep,
he's gonna be starting for Dallas. They
got him from day one.
And I was like, ooh,
he's gonna be a starter day one.
Would have been gone.
Wait.
He's gonna be a starter day one.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, he ain't on our team. I'm not gonna cheer for him.
We were close.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring. Hold on, let me bring up this. Okay, let me bring up the next player. I figure we ain't want to watch no lineman. Austin Booker from Kansas. Now let me get some sound on it.
Back to the 23-yard line. You're going to see him right here at the top of your screen. And watch Austin Booker with this upfield and come back inside. Boom. And you see he just leaves Etienne, who they were worried about at right tackle.
3rd and 14. It's a draw, and it's Richardson. And he is stonewalled. Absolutely smoked by Austin Booker. This kid is coming on. Get out that knee for a couple of drives. Just could not go. McLean sees pressure, doubles out of it. Tried to throw it forward. It's on the ground. It was Booker that got the hand on it. And this is a fumble.
Now, can somebody explain how did Poles pull this off? Because Poles only had 4 picks going into this draft, and somehow he ended up coming up with a 5th person in Austin Booker. How did he pull this off?
He traded a next year's draft pick, 2025. I think a 4th or 5th round to get back into this draft, which is the same pick that he gave away to draft Ryan to trade for Ryan Bates. So it was like one of those things where it kind of like outweighed each other. We gave away the pick to get Ryan Bates, but we got the pick back from next year. And I like this kid. He started one game. He started one game. He had 8 sacks and 12 tackles for loss.
For Kansas too.
For Kansas. So I like the potential. and it was it was an area need. Eric said it yesterday on the page. He was like, man, he's like, I would love for them to draft a edge rusher. So he was able to get back into the draft because they were done. They were done. But he was able to get back into the draft and get an edge rusher, and I like it. You know, of course he's a situational / project guy, but I like the pick.
You know, so it's funny with Booker and Rome and Caleb. I started thinking about the scene from New Jack City when Nino stabs Christopher Williams with the hand. Say pretty enough. I was like, yeah, boy, little pretty. My wife was watching games like, who is numbers? Like, yeah, I see. Handsome young man, but I'm like, wait a minute now. You know, I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah, they don't have some guys. They don't have some guys. They also have some guys.
Handsome young man.
So yeah.
And I'll never forget. I forgot who. Elijah Moore. My wife, and she loves football. And all of a sudden she sits down in the base. She's like, oh, who is this? I said, man. I was like, really? I was like, all right, whatever. You know, she here.
Hey, are we going to say our fond farewells to Bayless Jones, Larry Borum, and Dominic Robinson? Because I don't think they're going to make the squad this year. It's going to be hard to make the team.
I think all of them
Bayless
going to make
be
the
there.
squad.
Jay said what I was thinking. Bayless is going. That kickoff rule going to have.
That kickoff rule changes. That changes things. That changes things. The new kickoff rule is going to change things. Where Bayless Jones is going to be the sixth receiver on this team.
Yeah.
I love.
Do you remember him catching kickoffs to return them last year?
Yeah, I do. I do. But guess what? He's in the final year of his contract.
Okay.
So the Bears gonna eat that. They're gonna eat that. They're gonna let him be a returner. Our receiver room is great because you're talking about Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Ron Badunze, Tyler Scott, Dante Pettis, who's only gonna be on the team to return punts, and then you got Bayless Jones, who's gonna return kickoffs. There's some 6 wide receivers right there.
Yeah, and quick, we got rid of Equinemius this year too.
Say it again?
Is at a different team.
Yeah, he's with the Saints. He's with the Saints.
Okay.
It's okay for him to move on. He was a blocking wide receiver, but hey, guess what? It's a passing league, and the Bears have actually joined the passing league of the NFL. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, because if I understand this kickoff rule correctly, they have to wait till you catch the ball.
Yep.
You start from closer together or something.
So you get a running start.
Yeah, you closer together. But it's like zones of where the ball fall at, right? But I think if it goes in that far zone, I think basically they can't run until you catch the ball, which is to the advantage of the receiver. The
receiver team. They cannot leave the line of scrimmage. They cannot leave the line of scrimmage until somebody physically catch the football.
Catch the ball.
So now you're talking about at least 15 or 20 yards that the return person is actually gonna have before somebody really start coming at them. So yeah, this is set up
because field position is gonna be. I would not be shocked by the end of the season. The average field position is like around the 36, 37,
30, 38, 40 yard line somewhere. Yep.
You didn't cut the field.
Gonna cut the field in half. You
gave 33% of the field is cut. When you gonna start around almost closer to 40.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So that more of a case of why he's going to probably make the team because you don't have to risk any of your receivers back there now, and you could just let him just play that role only. But that rule is going to affect, and I think the onside rule. Did that take effect this season too?
I believe so. Where it's like you have to let the team know that you're going to kick out, which is the element of surprise is gone.
Yeah,
you gotta let the team. Hey, we doing the onside kick. So, you know what I'm saying? I love it, but I hate it at the same time.
I'm less worried about him as a kickoff returner as I am as a punt returner. So
yeah.
if you put him back there on punts, we might as well count up two losses right there.
Well, Dante Pettis is the punt returner. They re-signed him because he's sure-handed, so he's going to be your punt returner.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about that. But kickoff, Vegas Jones will probably make this team only because of the new kickoff rules. And like I said, the last year his contract, so it but hopefully, according to Caleb, we put points on the board. So we might not need too many punt returns or kick returns. So we'll see, man.
You know what? And Jay, since I mentioned the new rule, I also believe that the hip toss tackle? I think that was called hip toss.
Yeah.
That is going to benefit the offense definitely. And think about the size of these guys that we have. Kenan Allen, I know Komet is not great running with the ball, but Kenan Allen, Dunze, and DJ Moore, and you can't hip tackle them if they catch something and you're behind them.
Forget about
guys that's kind of just like diving for guys' feet or something because they can't tackle them with that particular play. So I can see us breaking a lot of longer plays because of that. So the NFL is gearing more and more towards you should be able to score a touchdown. They're making everything easier for you to score touchdowns. And even like say taking out the onside, right? I know that's supposed to be to eliminate like maybe injuries or players getting smacked down. Do y'all want to have any grades right now on the draft? Just based off what y'all see so far on how you feel. We don't know until they start playing, but any grades on the draft?
A plus for me. A plus. Like I said, you got the top wide receiver. You got to me, I feel, and I said this months ago, to me, I feel like you got the top wide receiver. You got the top punter. And I wasn't even thinking about no punter earlier during, all season. But you got the top punter. I get him an A all the way around. Ryan Poles did not deviate from what needed to be done. And like I said, the Bears coming into this draft, they only had 4 picks. I wanted them to spend all 4 picks on offense. We've been building this defense for years. And for them to actually be like, okay, we're going to get a quarterback. Now we're going to get a wide receiver that can grow with the quarterback because y'all got to remember, Kenan Allen has only got 1 year on his deal. He'll be a free agent next year. DJ Moore, he got next year, he got this year and next year. So he's going to be a free agent. So, to get a wide receiver that can grow with your quarterback is a big thing. I'm hoping that they'll extend Kenan Allen for another year, which will give him 2 years, and then you wind up giving DJ Moore a contract extension because I believe DJ Moore is only 25. So you got an opportunity here to expand and grow your offense. For them to be together collectively, DeAndre Swift signed a 3-year deal. He's 23 or 24. So to have this collective together, to have this team collectively together, this could be a really good thing. And I just hope it all works out. I mean, we've been bamboozled before, but I just hope it all works out, man. I just hope it all works out. I'm excited. I really am.
Anybody else got a grade?
Yeah, I got a grade. First of all, Jay would be happy if he had 8 wide receivers on the offense. He ain't gonna be happy. He got wide receivers all around. He don't care what else goes on. But I take it. I'm giving the Bears an A+, man, with this draft. And exactly what Jay said. We got the top player as a wide receiver. We got the top quarterback, who's been the top quarterback for the last couple years, as well as getting the top punter. When did we do that? So I'm definitely on board for what the Bears are doing, and I'm looking forward to that. Let's go.
Okay, Eric, you got a grade?
Yeah, I got a grade. I get him a B. Why?
Okay.
We still have to see. We still have to see. And
Absolutely.
I'm even though I like the kid, I like the story. That third round pick, when I look at who was available, around that time. Of course, I wanted Cooper, but he was gone. I think that they're probably more interior linemen that could have helped us in that time. Khan, I had him rated high, and then Dominic Pooney from Kansas. And so for interior linemen, especially because our two interior linemen, Jenkins, who I absolutely love, and Nate Davis was such an issue last year. I really wanted a guard. I know we got the two guys, was it Coleman and Ryan Bates. But until I see what they are, it reminds me of Lucas Patrick and the other guy. So I wonder, and I'm being funny, A-, but because I like the chemistry already between Caleb and Rome, and I want to see that. We've never seen that where we had a rookie quarterback and a rookie receiver grow together, and so that's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, that third round pick, I'm like, I know it's developmental, but it is also putting Braxton Jones on notice, because if that kid can do anything, that's somebody that can, because he was drafted with more potential than Braxton. Braxton gave us something that we didn't see, right? No one saw that fifth round pick becoming your starter.
Your starting tackle. Yeah.
Same way Charles Hill made a career as a seventh round pick. So he outplayed what we thought. But I'm with that. And on the last note, thank you all. I have to go. The little guys, it's bath time.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Eric. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate it, Eric. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right. Hey, I'm in agreement with Eric. I'm gonna give them an A- in this draft. One of the things was really Karan. I thought maybe we could have picked up somebody else, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, he may end up being starting. And I'm not sure about Austin Booker. I know he's kind of slender, 6'6", about 240. Maybe need a little weight on him, but that's okay.
6'4", 240.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Leonard Floyd, Bill. But you know what? I'm excited about the Roma Dunze. I want to go back to that. That he's the guy that when you saw other teams draft players like him, you always felt like, man, why can't the Bears get the guy like that? Why can't the Bears get Justin Jefferson? Why can't the Bears get Jamar Chase, right? Why can't the Bears find that Tyreek Hill in the Lord? We actually got the guy that wanted to be here, the guy that they wanted to have, the guy that the quarterback wanted to have, and you didn't have to give up nothing to get him. And if you're a Bears fan and you're sitting up there still mad about whatever you're mad about, I can understand cautious, right? Because you may say, hey, man, I done put my heart in some stuff and it been hurt. Okay, I can understand caution. But if you're actually still mad, I don't know, maybe you just got to find another team to root for. I'm not sure. Because if you feel like this is the same old Bears, I don't know what the results are, but it definitely don't feel like the same Bears. You definitely see strategy being worked out. And you seeing, to me, I see players who look like they're excited to be here. I mean, I'm laughing at Rome and Caleb on draft day. What have you saw the quarterback go and find the receiver? And they're like, like, man, we gonna win a lot of games, bro.
Yeah, somebody asked a quick question about what do we think the standings are going to be in the NFC North. First of all, last year we split with Minnesota and we split with Detroit. I think we're going to improve on that. Green Bay, I'd like to think at the very least we can be competitive and at least get a split with them, but I think that's going to determine whether or not we have a successful season. So that's just to answer that NFC North standing. And the NFC North is a much harder division than a lot of people gave it credit for right now. It's looking pretty competitive.
But I'm gonna tell you, the NFC North right now is probably the toughest division, in the conference versus the AFC North in the South. I mean, the AFC North in the AFC. So it's gonna be really really competitive. I think the Bears, if Caleb Williams is everything that people say he is, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be tough because now you're talking about Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, uh, JJ McCarthy,
Man, please.
JJ McCarthy, and what's the other team? And Jordan Love. So
Yeah.
so you talk about young, and you talk outside of golf. You talking about some young quarterbacks that's
Yep.
gonna be in this division. So it's gonna be real interesting, man. And I'm so looking forward to it. I think the Bears, not being a homer, but I think the Bears with a fourth place schedule are gonna be able to accomplish some stuff this year. I really do.
Yeah, I do too, Jay. Jay, I think points. I mean, we all know this, right? Much as this defense win championships, if you score points, it makes it harder for just a team playing great defense to beat you. And what I'm talking about is not that the team is stopping you from scoring points. It's where your offense is just not executing.
Right.
Like I know people may have different perspectives of like what happened in the Cleveland game, but when you get 4 turnovers in the game and short fields, you gotta get some.
Gotta capitalize.
Yeah, I want to say that game. The only touchdown that was gotten by the Bears was from the defense returning interception, and you had like maybe 4 turnovers in the Vikings game, and some of them you had great field position in those turnovers because that was that stretch where they had 8 turnovers in 2 games, but you really didn't have much offensive production. And that becomes important because when you're in a game like that, say, for example, like a Cleveland game or something like that, that team is still hanging in there because you're not taking advantage of those opportunities. And so all you need is one busted play or something like that. So if Caleb actually lives up to what he's built to be, then I agree with Eric. I think it was Eric who said, I'm looking for about 30 touchdowns, not 16. 16 is not going to get it done. 16 is 1970 stats. I'm sorry, people. 1970 stats. That's when you play 14 games. Your running back probably had 20-some touchdowns.
Right, you weren't passing the ball.
Right. You're not winning. I'm telling you, you're not winning with 16 touchdowns unless you have a lights-out defense.
But I'm going to tell you something. I saw a stat, and I'm trying to quote it, the stat that I saw. In his college career, Caleb Williams had 199 fourth and short or fourth downs or fourth and goals. He had 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers.
Yep.
That's all I need. That's all I just need the ball in the end zone. I just need points on the board. Anytime you can score, Tony Blackwell, that's what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for 4,500 while you playing because you got
two, gonna be the best ever.
You already got 2,000-yard receivers on your team. So I'm stoked. I'm excited. I swear, this could actually be one of the best starting off. He said 45, but not 5,000.
That's the stretch.
Okay, now we're pushing it. I like that though because I like Caleb. I like his confidence. I just seen his interviews where he talked and he's like, I've been grooming myself for this over my entire career. For you to be able to groom yourself for this and it comes up and it winds up fruition, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this season to come, man. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Hey, Plank, did you have anything before we close out? I know we went along, but man, this is the draft, so
no, I'm good. I like where we are, and I'm going to mirror exactly what Jay just said. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the Hall of Fame game.
Me too. Hey, I know.
And I hate it because I might be trying to. I can't take off much time for work, but I might be trying to go to Canton for that one. We already trying to maybe put that plan in place. Like, hey, I might try to drive to Canton. That ain't too far from Columbus. Well, baby girl at. I'm like, I might try to do that. But we are going to Arizona this year. The Bears are playing in Arizona. I'm letting y'all know right now. We are in Arizona. My parents there, my brother there, my folks there. We are definitely in Arizona for the Bears Cardinals game this year. So if y'all want to tag along, the track going, hey, it's all love. Y'all can come because we definitely in Phoenix this year.
All right.
Look, I may sound like I'm drinking the blue and orange Kool-Aid. I am. I'm drinking it.
You are. I ain't seen you like this. Hey, Bernard, I ain't seen you like this in a minute. I ain't seen you like this in a minute. You really like, hey, this it. And right. I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, hey, Jay, because this is when we first started Bears Banter. Thank everybody who supported us. This is actually going to be our 5th season of Bears Banter Talk Show. But Jay and Plank know when we first started, I definitely was saying this is a 6 and whatever I was saying that year, 6 and 10 team.
It wasn't positive, right?
Yeah. So I always felt like I'm being honest about what I'm seeing, even though I'm cheering for the Bears. I try to say I'm being honest about my evaluation. People may not agree with it, but I think I'm being honest to myself about the evaluation. This year, I feel this is going to be a good team. And I'm excited to watch. And I'm telling you, I just can't emphasize this enough to Chicago Bears fans. Don't lose out on this opportunity, man. I went and bought my new hat for the season, man. I seen what they had on the draft, man. Get on board. Don't be waiting until they win 7 games and they like 6-1. Then all of a sudden you want to start cheering for them. Get on that day one. Get on this, man.
Because I will have my Doomsday jersey for opening day. I will have my Doomsday jersey for opening day. You can believe that.
Doomsday.
This year I can go outside on game day because I'm sick of my neighbors chasing me down every time Green Bay beat the Bears and they be wearing the Green Bay flag and all that other stuff. So the Bears gotta make sure they don't let me down this year. I'm excited, so let's do it.
Okay, so hey, thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to send shouts out to Quick. Praying for you, get better, brother. I know I went by his house for a few minutes to talk to him, and I was giving him a big shout out today when I kept using the word organizational change, because that was the thesis of Quick getting his PhD was organizational change. So I just want to acknowledge that was one of the reasons I kept using that word today, organization.
Trust the process. That's one of the things he said. Quick always say, trust the process.
I'm looking forward to this season. We're gonna have a slight lineup change as far as the people that's the host on this show. But hey, it's gonna be another great season. Year number 5. Until then, we like to thank everybody, and we'll see you maybe in a few days. So peace.
Peace.